Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special presentation of Elite Esports. We are on to round number 2 of the Splatoon 3 playoffs. Let's meet our starting lineup right now. We have Worm, Ruby Runes, Equinox, and Kerbo. Same lineup as all season. They're going to look to continue their run into play versus Pacific Division playoffs. We're into the quarterfinals, so the top 8 teams in the league are left. The Eagles are going to try to punch their ticket to the semifinals, but they have a tough matchup, and they have their work cut out for them against the Roland High School Splagoobers, as they like to call themselves. Roland High School coming in as the number 2 team in the division, with the Eagles coming in as the number 10 team with a 5-3 record, with Roland sporting a nice 7-1 record over the course of the regular season. Looks like we had a slight disconnect before we began the first round, but we will cut away to Turf War when we are ready. Looks like it's going to be Hagglefish Market to start out here. So we will begin at Turf War on Hagglefish Market. Let's take a look at the lobby really quickly. All players on both teams lined up. Roland High School on top in the green with your Elite Eagles in blue. But Emma will probably switch to a different color the moment we kick off this Turf War round. So the Eagles have picked up their weapons, so as the other team. Both loadouts are picked. We'll be off here in just a moment. Players will get ready. We'll not see what everyone has picked until the game has started. And we are off with round number 1 in this best of 5 this afternoon. It is going to be Turf War. Like always, to start out, both teams will have the opportunity to clean up as much of the map as possible. Eagles are going to be in pink to start out round number 1 here. So, Eagles in pink, Roland's going to be in green. Worm gets on top of the gazebo. It's a very advantageous position to be with the headed. She can see a lot of the middle ground here. Not a lot of kills coming out. Kerbo sharking around the corner, looking to kind of dive in. Has to get away from the killer whale. As he get blown up because of that. Goes in, slices one. First kill of the game comes down, belongs to Kerbo. Tries to go fast and gets sliced through the wall, but he meets the headed there right behind the back. The bomb comes out, it's going to get tossed. Looks like right on top of the gazebo, or it hit the gazebo. I'm not completely sure. The bomb doesn't find a lot there. Equinox goes down in the middle, so it's just Ruby Worms. And the rest of the gang here. Equinox goes down. Ruby Runes finds himself dueling one person outside this box. Needs to get away. Try to play around the wall here. Reefsider comes out. Ruby Runes not able to get away. He gets splatted and taken down. line with the 52 gal. Tries to get a high ground position. Looks for someone to jump on top of him. Splat. Roland doing a good job holding the line here, not really letting the Eagles push forward into the middle. Knocks down the wall to try to get some forward progress here. Killer Whale comes out, probably going to push the players Roland back, and that's the room that Nox needs to go in there. Maybe take some space. They find one straggler on the right side. Ruben's gets taken down by the late suction bomb, and the left side are also coming out. And so moving on, outplaying the two Eagles on the side with both abilities showcased there nicely. Trevor Eater still on the side. Turbo goes slice. But with all four players Roland up, they need a better opening. Just diving in. Special, something like that. Worm walks a little bit far past the wall and gets taken down by the Splat of the other team. Under a minute left. Looks like Roland has 2/3 of the map here. Worm gets on top of the platform, finds Lucan over on the side. Now it's a good chance to cover up a lot of this middle. Is covering a lot of middle, but not necessarily looking at all the players that are available to shoot. Tactical gets thrown down right into the middle, but maybe a little bit too close to the rest of the team. Worm gets the charge up, Splatling. Now it's a turner focus to the straggler on the right. Nox finds him, takes him out. Now the Eagles with some momentum here, but still most of the point belonging towards Roland here. Nox gets taken down. Out with the Splatling, she comes around, gets taken out by the Octobrush. Runes finds some space in the back to paint up, but might be a little bit late. Good last push there by the Eagles, but it stops just short, I believe. So we'll have to see what the result is. Oh, it looks a little closer than I thought. And just barely Roland beats him out by a score of 2%. That late killer whale kill on Nox doing all the damage and providing a lot of impact. But a close first game here. Roland wins it by just a hair, 2%. We'll see if Roland can continue their lead here, or if the Eagles are going to be able to respond on Rainmaker like they have been able to most of the season. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. We are back and ready to go for round number 2. Roland won a tight one in round number 1 by just a score of 2%, taking the Turf War game and taking a 1-0 lead in the best of 5. Eagles are going to try to respond when Rainmaker did not go with Eeltail Alley, though. So, a bit of a change of strategy. I know Eeltail Alley is typically the Rainmaker response map. It has been for most of the season for the Eagles. But we'll see how they do on a Hammerhead Bridge. We'll have to see if there are any changes coming out from either side here. Yeah, it's all mystery to me. So we are off for round number 2 here. It is going to be Rainmaker. Roland is going to be in orange, while the Eagles are going to be in blue to start round number 2 here. All right, on the screen now is the colored Eagles in blue. Worm comes in with the head. They're trying to get that first pop. Maybe get a cheap splatter to both teams fighting for his first pop. And now it flips over to Roland. Worm doing her best to try to flip it back to the Eagles. I will say I've never seen a initial pop take that long. So both teams clearly wanting the Rainmaker. Production bombs being tossed out all over the place. East gets taken down. So only 2 people for the Eagles left. One of them super jumps back in. Nox finds one. She finds another. She has the wave breaker. She pops the Rainmaker before it even has a chance to make significant progress. Gets taken down. The Rainmaker stalls again for both teams. Eagles take a slim lead, nearly getting it to the checkpoint, but it's stopped just short. Nox needs to jump out for that one. Rainmaker still not through the checkpoint, but there is a Kraken on the point. Jelly goes down. Ruby finds Jelly with the assistance of Nox. Now Sharking tosses a suction bomb on top of the checkpoint. He finds one. Rainmaker still had not been picked up, so Roland does go through the checkpoint and take the lead, but no other teammates around. Probably not going to do any other progress past that. Cheese trades with Jelly on the left side. Nox finds one, drops the wave breaker to try to get her teammates some space, so Rainmaker's still not being picked up. And it looks like the Rainmaker is not being picked up. It finally gets a reset. Not sure what's going on there. So lucky break for Roland as he was not able to pick up the Rainmaker there and capitalize on the kind of open checkpoint that they had. Nox is swimming around trying to get to the custom blaster on the right side. Turbo dashes in, finds one, tries to find another, he finds another. Now pops a shield over the checkpoint. Now the Eagles have a chance to break through the checkpoint here. 2 minutes left, they do, but they do not retake the lead as Roland was able to take the checkpoint first. Try to aggressively pop the bubble and maybe just push it just a tiny bit farther. But now the Kraken is coming out on the side of Roland, and the kills are going to be coming out as well. Now Eagles need to defend against the Kraken, and the Wormmaker Turbo gets caught out on the left side and taken down. Doing what she can to support and get away from Rainmaker, trying to pop the shield. And pop the things that give Roland space here to push through this ramp here. Roland plotting momentum. Eagles need to find some kills here. Worm finds one, that's a big one, but she needs to keep going back. The head is not a short-range weapon. She's needing more space to make that work. Rainmaker finally goes down, but not before Roland's able to pick up an extra 22 meters, extending their lead. Pop, Tactical goes down. The rest of the Eagles going to be charged up, and it is Worm that takes the Rainmaker. Now raining fire from a distance, trying to give the Eagles space. She finds one, goes into the shield, but now gets a little bit too close to the others. She has some space. She's going forward. And the Eagles take the lead with a minute left by 3 meters. But momentum might go back towards the way of Roland as they're probably going to get the top here. Turbo caught a little bit too close into the spawn. Nox needs to get away. And now it's Roland with the Rainmaker with 50 seconds left. Still anyone's game here. Roland just needs to get it 3 more meters. Nox has the wave breaker, but probably not going to use it yet. She dashes forward, tosses a suction bomb to try to get people off of her. So gets taken down by the custom range blaster on the right. So Lucan winning that 1-1, and that's a big impact. Booyah Bomb comes out. Ruby Rune's tossing it right onto the point. It finds one, and it finds the most important player, but not before he pushes it. The Rainmaker an extra 8 meters. Likely gonna have an overtime push here. Kraken is out. And it's Nox that has the Rainmaker. Last chance for the Eagles here. As it goes down into overtime. But Nox gets cut out by Lucan, and that's going to be it. So Nox drops the Rainmaker during the overtime push, extending a little bit too far past him. So another really close one for Roland here. Eagles not able to make that push at the very end. As they take a 2-0 lead. So Eagles on the brink of elimination here. Despite the closeness of these games, rolling up 2-0. Eagles going to need to force a comeback here. All right, it's a bit of an interesting situation we have here. So we may have noticed it in the last round, but both teams had some connection issues. So both teams have agreed to a reset on Rainmaker. So we're actually going to play out the Rainmaker game. So Eagles with another chance to maybe even up the series here against Roland. They're going to be in orange. Eagles are going to switch over to purple. Same comps, same deal. We're going Rainmaker again. I think that game was just so fun that I'm okay with watching the Rainmaker game. She finds one, she finds another. Already with some momentum here. Being able to see these guys one time on Rainmaker has helped out. Luckily getting away from that suction bomb. But Zip there actually comes in and charges right into Worm's face, finding Equinox too. So we're getting jump scared by the Zip pass before Eagles are able to take the Rainmaker. And despite some early kills, Roland's able to break through the checkpoint. Being able to get through it fast. Ruby needs to get away from the track, but he's not going to be able to. Roland's going to be able to take this probably much further than they had even in the last game here. We're trying to defend the bridge here, defend this height. So Jelly is able to take it a little bit farther, getting it up to 32. Still, 2 people from Roland in the spawn at the Eagles. They have not been able to retake the Rainmaker here. Trying to force a pop to make sure that it doesn't have any further progress. Knox throws down the Wavebreaker. Trying to expose positioning of the players on Roland, and she takes the Rainmaker. Now needs to get away from the suction bomb. Suction bomb's been a big problem for the Eagles today. Lots of them being tossed out on both sides. Now Eagles with some room here, but the respawn's going to come in for Roland, so we need to win a fight here before we even have the room to continue to go forward. The bomb coming out. Knox drops the Rainmaker off the cliff to force it to reset. Odd play, but definitely a valuable one. You don't want to drop the Rainmaker for the other team right in the spawn. Counterproductive. The Rainmaker back in the middle. Kraken comes out. And Worm trying to capitalize. Wing comes out of the Kraken form. 2 people have died on the side of Roland, so now it's just the Rainmaker and the Blaster on the right side. But with those high damage weapons, Eagles still need to be careful here. Turbo goes in a little bit too far, gets blown up by the Rainmaker. She pops its Wavebreak to try to get some damage into the Rainmaker here. The bomb comes out, but it doesn't find anything, just the zones. Knox gets blown out by a nade. On the left side, so only a couple of respawns coming in from the Eagles, and now Roland's going to be able to march forward here. Worm gets taken down. Turbo finds one trade, but he's going to need to find another. He finds and slices the Rainmaker, so a big kill for Turbo there. Stops it. But Eagles are still stopped by heavy edit, Splatling in the middle, so a lot of the offensive pushes here not really gaining much. So Roland's doing a really good job defensively, holding the line just like they did in the Turf War game. The Eagles get a chance, not really able to push past the middle here due to the endless barrage of bombs coming out by the Rainmaker. So just under a minute left. Roland's doing a really good job just keeping Eagles away. Tosses Tactical down in a little bit of a desperate move just to get away. But all of a sudden, Eagles have a wipeout, so they might have some room here to push it all the way. Nox already trying to make a path for her teammates by blasting a lot of the middle in purple. She tosses the Wavebreaker down to try to stall the defenses coming in. The bomb comes out. Bruins tosses right onto the point. That's going to give Turbo a little bit of room, but he drops it right in front of the checkpoint. Nox super jumps back in to try to get in faster. But with 16 seconds, they got to move quick. That's a big kill. But wasn't able to find anything else. She gets taken down by the Splatling. There's 7 seconds left, and the other team has the Rainmaker. It looks like they're just going to carry it back into the spawn and force the timer to run out. So in the reset, with the less lag, Roland was able to win a little bit more convincingly. So they have the 2-0 lead going into round 3. So we'll be back for Splat Zones. Eagles trying to keep the season alive. Need to force a great comeback here as we go into Splat Zones. So Roland High up 2-0. Okay. We are back with game number 3. What could be the final round of the Eagles season here? They have to force a reverse sweep. So a tall task for the Eagles. We'll see if they're up for it on this Splat Zones game 3. So Eagles actually going to be in orange to start here, while Roland will be in blue. Will be on the screen now. Zones are active, so Eagles in orange. Roland takes control of the zones early. So, Maroons on the 52 Gal Deco. Lots of bombs being tossed out. Both zones owned by Roland. And it's already taken out pretty fast. He's not really able to find an opening right here. They're going to need to make some quick. Goes down. Restarter comes out. Nox trying to go on a flank to try to find enemy players. He's able to trade with the Octobrush. One more player goes down, but it may not be enough. He was at least able to stop the bleeding here. Steal by Cheese. Another nice one. And now Eagles in control here. So Eagles able to stop the bleeding. Temporarily lose control, but might be able to get it right back. Turbo goes in, pushes away. Gets away as he can. He has his triple strike and this is ready. Tosses him on top of the big platform to try to get the person off the high ground. Comes out with decav. They find the person on top. Tossing projectiles down the main drag. He goes in, gets the reef slider away. Not before they take out one unlucky player on the Eagles. Needs to be careful here in the eyes. The sniper on the left side. Now to get away from the killer whale. All sorts of stuff. And it's a little bit too much to handle. She gets taken down. Runes finds one. And now he needs to kind of get away. So, good attempt by the Eagles to get up to 64. Now, Roland has most of the control of the zone here. Runes in a precarious position. Dancing around the point. He pops the shield to maybe get the Eagles some room. He dies right after Reef Slider comes out. And he's taken down by the Reef Slider. But does a good job of keeping the Eagles away. And now Roland looking to score onto the point again. Turbo tosses triple ink strike down. He finds one. He might be able to stop the bleeding here. Comes up. He's behind the Dreadringer. But not before getting pinched. Between two people on Roland. Toxic dives back in. Nox Turbo able to find one. Nox has to go away from not one, but two ultimates, both a Zipcaster and a Reef Slider coming out. And he totally gets away by Sharky in the corner. Now not able to get out of this one. He goes forward, but does not have anywhere to go as she gets taken down. Three people on Roland, and that is going to be it. So Eagles not able to flip the point after their first push, as Roland wins via knockout and takes the match by a score of 3-0. So, congratulations to Roland High School making the semifinals of the Play versus League. Unfortunately, the Eagles fall 3-0 and will be eliminated. So, this is the end of the fall Splatoon season. A good season, a lot of ups and downs. Another playoff appearance and a playoff win for the Eagles. But the run ultimately gets cut short by Roland as they move on to the semifinals. So thank you all for those who tuned in this season. We'll be back with more Splatoon streams when we return for the spring season. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, be elite.